Isa Samad questioned by police. Manhunt underway for 5 escaped detainees. Welcome to News on 2. You're with me, RENEE FOONG. Former Federal Land Development Authority FELDA Chairman Tan Sri Isa Samad was interviewed by police this morning over the suspicious transfer of a plot of land in Kuala Lumpur from the agency. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun confirmed that Tan Sri Isa gave his statement at the Bukit Aman Federal Police Headquarters around 10 a.m. this morning. Several other individuals will also be called in soon for the investigation. Police are examining the dubious transfer of the land in Jalan Semarak from Felda's investment arm Felda Investment Corp FIC to a developer in 2015. Felda could lose at least 200 million as a result.
Bukit Aman. Saya ingat kalau saya tak silap pukul 10 tadi.
Pagi ini?
Pagi tadi lah.
Lepas ni siapa lagi
Ada lagi ada beberapa orang lagi yang ada kaitan lah dengan kes tu. Jadi saya tak payah reveal. Tapi kita akan susun lah apa yang dipanggil berikutnya dalam masa terdekat ni. Kita akan cuba selesaikan pengambilan statement ni lah yang melibatkan individu-individu yang kita fikir ada kaitan dengan kes berkaitan.
Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi, however, declined to reveal the identity of other individuals which are likely to be called. The IGP was met by reporters after attending the Home Ministry's Key Performance Indicator KPI book handover in Putrajaya today. Tan Sri Isa had said that he had no plan to hold a press conference anytime soon to explain the issue as he wanted to avoid misunderstanding. Sabah police are still on a manhunt for 5 foreign men who fled from the Temporary Detention Centre PTS in Mengatal near the capital on Monday. Sabah Police Commissioner Datuk Ramli Din said the 5 suspects escaped from the PTS at about 6:45 p.m. He said in the incident 7 individuals fled from the centre but 2 of them were later caught near the centre.
Tutup pada hari itu dan gambar-gambar tahanan yang melarikan diri ini pun telah disebarkan kepada semua pasukan kita yang bertugas di bawah. Pasukan yang bertugas di lapangan.
He said this after attending a handover ceremony for the new Penampang Police Chief at the Penampang Police Headquarters today. Commenting further, Datuk Ramli said initial investigations found the negligence of guards at the PTS was the cause of the incident. Earlier, he witnessed former Sipitang CID Chief Haris Ibrahim appointed as the new Penampang Police Chief effective today. Haris Ibrahim replaced DSP Rosli Hopton, who was transferred to Miri Sarawak in December last year. An assistant veterinary officer claimed trial in Johor Bahru Sessions Court today to 3 counts of bribery involving 3,500 ringgit 5 years ago. The accused, Muhammad Razi Basar, 41, made the plea after the charges were read to him before Judge Muhammad Fauzi Nasir. It was alleged that the money was an inducement given to the accused by Muhammad Zakaria Muhammad, manager of Better Z Enterprise, to obtain a contract to supply materials to build livestock enclosures for the Johor Veterinary Services Department. The offences were allegedly committed at a bank located in a Johor Bahru shopping complex between November 2013 to October 2014. The charges were all made under Section 165 of the Penal Code. Prosecution was led by Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Prosecution Officer Nur Sharina Raizan, while the accused was represented by his lawyer Tan Sung Yan. Court allowed bail of 5,000 ringgit with one surety and set January 19th for remention. A man suspected to have duped foreigners by offering to obtain resident permits for them has been remanded for 3 days to help with investigations into the case. Pulau Pinang Commercial Crime CID Chief ACP Abdul Ghani Ahmad said the suspect was detained yesterday after he posed as a Home Ministry official and offered his services to a victim. Investigations revealed that the victim had transferred 12,000 ringgit and 28,000 ringgit to the suspect's accounts on October 16th and November 5th last year. The victim eventually found out that the suspect had never submitted his resident permit application when he ran a check with the Immigration Department about a month after he made the last payment. The 45-year-old suspect was detained in a supermarket in Georgetown about 5:15 p.m. yesterday. The remand order was issued by the court registrar Muna Maria Azmi to enable investigations under Section 420 of the Penal Code. Two individuals believed to be drug traffickers were arrested at Jalan Kempas Indah, Johor Bahru, Johor at 12:30 last night. Johor Bahru Utara Police Chief ACP Muhammad Taib Ahmad said examinations on one of the suspects revealed 7 plastic packets and 1 straw tube containing white powder suspected to be heroin weighing 19.46 grams. Meanwhile, the second suspect did not have any identification documents. Both suspects, aged 23 and 29, were however not found on the list of wanted individuals. The case is being investigated under Section 39, subsection B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 and Section 25, subsection 1, subsection N of the National Registration Regulations 1990. The flood in Pahang has claimed its second victim, a 17-year-old teen. Pahang Police Chief Dato' Sri Rosli Abdul Rahman confirmed the identity of the victim as Muhammad Al-Ashraf Daniel Muhammad Al-Asadi, who drowned in front of a house in Kampung Tiram, Kuantan this morning. The victim was returning to his home in Permatang Bada after meeting a friend whose house was inundated with floodwaters in Lorong Anggrek, Kampung Tiram last night. The victim was believed to have had an epilepsy attack and fell into the floodwaters. His body was discovered by members of the public who contacted the Fire and Rescue Department. The body was then sent to Hospital Tengku Ampuan Afzan, Kuantan for further action. A Standard 2 student from SKI Barok Jas in Melaka cheated death after being hit and dragged on the school grounds by a car at about 6:50 a.m. today. Melaka Traffic Enforcement and Investigation Department Chief Superintendent Muhammad Sham Abdullah confirmed that the incident was realised by a teacher who happened at the scene.
Nasib baik cikgu nampak cikgu menjerit dan dia berhenti. Jadi budak ini cedera di kepala sahajalah. Dia boleh bercakap, dia masih sedar diri lagi. Dan kemalangan berlaku di dalam porch sekolah. Jadi di depan pintu masuk sekolah, di dalam kawasan sekolah.
Following the incident, the student was taken to Jasin Hospital for treatment before being referred to Melaka Hospital. The case is being investigated under Section 43 of the Road Transport Act. Superintendent Muhammad Sham was responding to the media after attending the Ops Bersepadu PDRM program with enforcement agencies in Melaka. A woman collapsed in a boat while crossing Sungai Nenggiri in Kampung Pulau Setelu, Gua Musang, Kelantan. Faridah Muhammad, 59, who is believed to suffer from high blood pressure, was helped by the Malaysian Civil Defence Force APM. Gua Musang APM officer Muhammad Yusalmi Muhammad Yusof said the woman was then taken by a boat belonging to the villagers and transferred to an ambulance which took her to the Gua Musang hospital for further treatment. Following treatment, the patient's condition is now stable. Residents of 10 villages in Gua Musang area had to use boats to cross the river to conduct their daily affairs in the city after the Pulau Setelu bridge was temporarily submerged, causing them to lose contact since 3 days ago. In the business segment, Malaysia to achieve balanced budget in 5 years' time. Stay with us. Malaysia expects to attain its balanced budget target by the year 2022 or 2023 instead of its initial target of 2020 due to the movement of oil prices. According to Second Finance Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani, the government should not rush into achieving a balanced budget as doing so could affect the country's future economy and spending.
At the time when the government prepared this balanced budget by 2020, it was somewhere when the oil price was trading about 80, 90, 100. But today, because we need to spend in order not to disrupt the economy and to stimulate the economy. So we need to buy a little bit more time in order to achieve the balanced budget.
Speaking in Kuala Lumpur today at the 10th CIMB Annual Corporate Malaysia Day, Datuk Sri Johari said that to achieve a balanced budget target, the government will continue to take steps in increasing productivity and reducing costs. He added that the overall outlook for 2018 seems positive, with the market expecting Malaysia's gross domestic product growth to moderate at around 5 to 5.5% following a stellar economic recovery last year. The Malaysian economy has been affirmed as stable by rating agencies, while the ringgit is getting stronger and is expected to continue to rise further. Hence, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak said the ringgit will not be pegged, as such action would cause investors and world markets to lose confidence in the country. Appearing in a TV interview, Datuk Sri Najib said it was imperative to make sure the nation's fundamentals are strong so that its strength will cause the ringgit to reflect its real value in the long run.
Ya, tapi kosnya tinggi. Ya. Kosnya sangat tinggi. Jadi itu ditimbulkan persoalan sama ada langkah itu wajar ataupun tidak. Itu pun kita boleh debate lah sama ada baik ataupun sebaliknya. Tapi kita tak boleh mengulangi perkara itu.
The Prime Minister cited two factors beyond the control of the government that had affected the ringgit. Firstly, the policies adopted by developed countries, especially the United States, in terms of their interest rate, and secondly, slumping oil prices. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Najib also expressed his optimism about the nation's future. He said the government was not prepared to sacrifice the future of the country with merely populist measures.
Kerajaan kita adalah kerajaan yang bertanggungjawab, rasional, yang memikir kehendak rakyat, keperluan rakyat hari ini, dan juga kita juga akan menjamin masa depan yang lebih baik lagi, insyaAllah.
When asked about the state of the nation in 30 years' time, Datuk Sri Najib said Malaysia has shown signs of embracing the new era, just like China, which is currently harnessing the digital economy. The newly established Digital Free Trade Zone DFTZ, in collaboration with Alibaba's Jack Ma, is proof the nation's administration has transitioned from the conventional to the digital era. The Home Ministry is focusing on 8 main aspects under 25 key performance indicators (KPI) to strengthen the performance of officers, departments and agencies under the ministry this year. According to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zahid Hamidi, the reduction in the number of KPIs to 25 from 38 in 2017 will not dampen the ministry's aim to deliver the best services in maintaining security and harmony in the country. He said the focus areas include strengthening and diversifying community engagement initiatives in order to prevent crime and increase safety awareness among Malaysians. The Home Ministry will also focus on strengthening existing regulations as well as enhancing its enforcement efforts to combat the influx illegal immigrants.
8 fokus utama ini harus didakapi oleh kita semua dengan penuh komitmen, penuh keikhlasan, penuh kejujuran, supaya insya-Allah apa yang telah kita capai terdahulu adalah suatu asas yang harus terus dipertahankan pada waktu yang sama pada tahun 2018 ini. Kita mempertingkatkannya walaupun KPI dikurangkan dan peratusan pencapaian dihadkan pada 100%.
Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, who is also the Home Minister, was speaking at the ministry's KPI book handover ceremony in Putrajaya today. In 2017, the Home Ministry achieved 90% of the 38 KPIs just within the first 6 months and surpassed its 138% target by the end of the year. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi today received a courtesy call from Sudan Interior Minister Dr. Hamid Muhammad MANHUNT at his office at the Perdana Putra building in Putrajaya. According to a media statement, the two leaders discussed, among other things, security matters as well as the convening of the Putrajaya International Security Dialogue (PISD), scheduled for January 5th and 6th.
Please, Excellency.
Dr. Hamid is scheduled to present a country statement in a special sessions on the final day of the forum. The international dialogue is organized by the Home Ministry in collaboration with Rabitah Al-Alami Al-Islami, a non-governmental organization based in Saudi Arabia. It aims to highlight moderation as the best way to combat violence and extremist ideology. Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Singapore are among the 10 countries who have confirmed their participation in the Putrajaya International Security Dialogue, PISD 2018, to be held in Putrajaya for 2 days starting tomorrow. The event has attracted over 1,000 participants, with experts from Malaysia and abroad respectively sharing their opinions and experiences on security issues. Titled Wisdom and Moderation Combating Terrorism, the dialogue organized by the Home Ministry has received the cooperation of the Muslim World League, Rabitah Al-Alami Al-Islami, a non-profit organization.
Dan berkongsi pengalaman kita tentang pendekatan-pendekatan yang kita lakukan. Ya. Keduanya kita juga ingin mendapatkan maklumat-maklumat ataupun pengalaman-pengalaman negara luar untuk mengatasi masalah keganasan ataupun terorisme ini. Dan yang ketiganya ialah untuk kita mempromot usaha-usaha Malaysia.
The program was also expected to be attended by ministers and deputy ministers, foreign countries, senior officials from embassies and high commissions in Kuala Lumpur, academicians, senior government officials and students of institutions of higher learning IPT. The opening speech will be given by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, and the closing ceremony will also be done by the Prime Minister on Saturday. The Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Muizzuddin Shah, has called for the Sharia courts to be attentive and careful on the extent of exposing case proceedings to the general public, in keeping with the requirement in Islam for a person not to be publicly humiliated. Sultan Nazrin said the aspect of protecting an individual's honor by not smearing his name was much stressed upon in Islam and was also a component of justice.
Perbuatan mensensasikan prosiding perbicaraan di Mahkamah Syariah secara terbuka hendaklah diteliti dan diperhalusi kesesuaiannya. Prosiding yang berlangsung di Mahkamah Syariah, terutama yang berkaitan dengan isu-isu keluarga dan peribadi, hendaklah memastikan bahawa nama baik anggota keluarga, ibu bapa dan anak-anak terjamin dilindungi daripada disensasikan.
Sultan Nazrin was speaking at the presentation of letters of appointment to 22 members of the Perak Religious Affairs and Malay Customs Council, 9 members of the State Fatwa Committee and 10 Sharia judges in Ipoh today. The Sultan said noble values with the focus on rationality, wisdom, good manners and order enjoined by the religion should always be portrayed through actions taken in the name of Islam. Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Muhammad Khalid Nordin today refuted allegations that the Forest City Development Project involved land being sold to foreigners. He said 0.01% of the Forest City project was meant to generate development in the state. Datuk Muhammad Khalid said similar development projects have been ongoing via Khazanah Nasional in Singapore.
Saya kata, mengapa fokus kepada benda yang 0.01? Itu je soal saya, mengapa fokus? Ada banyak benda yang kita boleh beri tumpuan dan sebagainya. Dan seperti yang telah saya katakan betapa dalam ucapan saya tadi, betapa pentingnya kita dapat bangun dan majukan negeri Johor.
Datuk Muhammad Khalid was commenting on the allegations made by Salahuddin Ayub, a deputy president of Parti Amanah and also the vice president of Pakatan Harapan, who claimed the land for the Forest City Development Project is being sold to foreigners. He added that the opposition is only focusing on Forest City for political gain. And that concludes this evening's news on 2. In our top story, Isa Samad questioned by police on Felda land probe. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm RENEE FOONG. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant evening.